not a game, it's a rich thing.
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Intel Gamer Days Community Cup for Valorant. The quarterfinal stage has now begun, and the BO3s are about to roll in. It's going to be your boy Aggressive with Oro on my side this time around to bring you all the action. Sadly, Salty had to take a little bit of a backseat today, but don't really worry about it because we have the perfect guy to step in for him for today. Oro, how are you feeling, my buddy?
Thank you for the warm welcome, Aggressive. I'm feeling really good because see, it's the Intel Gamer Days and it's also Valorant, so we all enjoy watching matches like these and specifically stages where it's the quarterfinals. So where qualification is at stakes. From here, you will have to move on to the next stage. But wait, we have to see the prize pool right now, and the overall prize pool for this event is 3 lakh Indian rupees, and the winner takes up 2 lakh Indian rupees, and the runner-up gets 1 lakh. So obviously, if you are qualifying for the grand finals, you get a chunk of the prize pool, but then you need to prove yourself to reach that stage, Aggressive.
Absolutely. With all of these teams also fighting for such a big chunk, you know for a fact that all of these players, they're going to be gunning for this one. The fact that you get 40k to your name just by getting to that grand final stage is incredible, to say the very least, for each and every one of these players. And all of them have fought tooth and nail through that qualifier stage. Those BO1s were brutal. We saw the entire thing for a couple of these teams, especially when it came down to Dieversity and RAD Syndicate. A lot of their matches really came down to the wire. The 3-9 scoreline that Dieversity had to go up against was one of the biggest ones that we were talking about back in that qualifier stage. But now here on this playoff stage instead, you can tell that all the teams and the players, they are going to be in for the books. That is for certain. Dieversity have completely switched out their entire lineup for this particular map here, going in for a much more stabilized compositional pickup with the Euro and of course the Neon coming through with the Fade. So they now have a lot of very active utility that they can utilize to execute onto the site, which is a far better contrast to what they were previously doing when they were going through the qualifier stages.
Yeah, interesting. See, I mean, the double duelist on bind really is something which I want to witness because we have seen at times where teams like Dieversity eSports or specifically teams who picks up a double duelist meta on bind, they usually go aggressive, and we know that there are sayings that on bind there the defensive half gets an advantage, but though we have seen multiple times teams on the attackers half gets an advantage even though there's a defender's side advantage saying we witness bind. So it's going to be interesting how RAD Syndicate sets them up. That sets them up at this point of time. Okay, it's going to be a Shar hit and relay bolts coming in really quick. It's going to be difficult for Noob now. He needs to get the smoke in. Smoke isn't proper. Yeah. And the early fight, he still gets a kill.
He gets a volley too! Oh, this is perfect! Oh, but there's no one to try and save him from that angle. Flashes do come through. Storm is going to be on the angle to try and take the fight. He's going to be able to get that kill. Sloan's going to be able to survive this one. And now Panda, he's just going to be swinging through, and the members of team... Okay, I do believe that the top names are a little bit long, ladies and gentlemen. Don't really worry about that. It's Dieversity on the side of the defense, and on the other side is RAD Syndicate.
Yeah. I mean, the way they upped the ante, I thought that he really messed up the smoke over there, but then he still managed to get one pick Noob over there, but then he didn't have any backup aggressive, right? So it was very difficult for him to, once the Trailblazer hit him, it was very difficult for him to recover from that. Let's see how they, reply to this situation. Looks like a B stack right now. Sinks, oh, he spots one. Tries to pick over there someone, but then no value whatsoever. But Noob, I think he has been given the responsibility to control this area. And oh God, he's just waiting for the trap to go off. Okay, now they'll know. The Seize comes in. Oh, one tap God alongside Panda over there, gets 2 picks over there. And I think they have the control over here. But UV, he has sneaked in, needs to spot him, but UV will retrieve a bulldog over there. Aggressive. It's going to be difficult for... He's not watching. He watches, but he gets the pick. UV tries to equalize the number, but it's still a 3v2 situation. Aggressive.
It's a precarious situation that they're not going to be able to turn around from, but still a chance for Panda to come in strong for this hit. One more kill for Tricky is going to be the biggest game changer for their team. They need to stabilize themselves and get these stronger weapons in their hands. Yes, but at the same time, if Tricky is just able to drop out one more weapon, that's going to hurt the economy of the members of Dieversity eSports even further. So instead he wins the race as Tricky doesn't really have the rechargeable utility to do much here. Still given a chance to go in for the clutch, and he might just be able to make it work. He does have the plant going in his favor. Dieversity now, the last player remaining will be none other than One Tap God to try and bring in the pain and bring in the hurt for his team. But Tricky, he's been in this situation countless times, and a clutch for him in a situation like this is just another day in the office.
He doesn't know. He's still... Oh, wait, he's expecting now. He knows. Tricky knows. Oh, no, wait, what? One Tap God manages to take down Tricky over there. He messed up big time. I thought after he spotted One Tap God, it should have been Tricky who should have won that 1v1 duel. But then One Tap God was just better over there. Dieversity eSports converts one more round. It's a 2-0. RAD Syndicate, they really need to up the ante, but they cannot afford to lose out on such rounds. Aggressive.
This is going to be quite the interesting feat if the members of RAD Syndicate are going to be able to take this one away. But considering the amount of economic damage that they were able to do with that last one, Tricky, he did God's work out there to get 4 kills and then get the plan down as well. Eco-wise, the members of RAD Syndicate, they're just going to be sitting pretty well. Dieversity, they are going to be opting for a bit more of a save, but this one outlaw in the hands of this Euro could just spell doom for the opposition. Vexy now sitting over towards the short side, has the smokes in hand and in tandem to just hold on to the line for as long as they possibly can. Showers control already established as RAD Syndicate now need to slowly work their way in, waiting for the smoke to dissipate and also be going into the awaiting arms of the Neon. They need to be careful about this one judge, because if it is allowed to find value here on that short side, if they lose players a little bit too early, RAD Syndicate can no longer go in for a fast hit.
Yep. This is a bonus round for, obviously, UV gets a pick. Think he needs to spot him. No, as you expected. Vexy, he converts 2 alongside Som, who converted 1. But obviously, they will have the time to plant the bomb. Spike has been planted. Tricky once again alongside Paradox this time. It's a 2v2. They have the weaponry advantage to Dieversity eSports. Tricky, he might find one over there. That's Noob, but it's a player in close range. This time he'll make no mistake. And RAD Syndicate gets the most important round. The buy round has been converted aggressive. Because if they would have messed up this round, it would have been, very big mess up on their economical side. So it was a must-win round for them. But the plan was almost executed from the Dieversity eSports side. As you mentioned, that Vexy on that judge is going to be a very important position. He created that value, but then the conversion didn't come in.
There are certain situations that you need to be put in onto a team, and this is just one of those. A little bit of a tough call for the members of Dieversity. Even though they had all the picks, it just didn't vote the way that they wanted. But a fast rush coming in, they completely isolated out the player on the left side there. And Sing's taking a back seat. That's going to be an early big hit coming out from the Panda. Needs to be the first line of contact for this entire fight. Towards the corner, Panda with the fast swing. He still gets a kill. The trade does come in, but that's completely fine and dandy because they still have the man advantage going into this retake. The orbital strike in the hands of RAD Syndicate could cause some problems if they're trying to flood in, but UV not in the best of positions. In towards the back, he does have the orbital strike to open up the side, but he's using the orbital strike in the worst possible position, and now UV completely isolated inside of a corner. He has nowhere to run and absolutely nowhere to hide. Maybe he does find something for his team, but the pings just don't exist. He can't spam through the smoke with a Vandal. He just falls 3-1 as Dieversity. They win this round because UV just made a massive blunder in his overall positioning.
Yeah, obviously, and I mean the orbital strike, as you mentioned, that that was not the ideal way to use it. And once he used it in the opening, I think it was done because the plant was a little deeper inside where he couldn't obviously execute the picks. But then it was a good conversion coming in from Dieversity eSports side. They had the plan, and they are just counting on each other to convert those. Both okay. Vexy goes in. He gets one. Oh, he does the damage. Paradox is up to 2 HP. Okay, Noob gets him. The plant has been denied. The spike is dropped now. It's going to be very difficult right now. Homeboy, he has that Bucky in his hand. but he needs to creep in actually, but these guys know the positioning, and he might get oh, he just saved himself by a whisker. Sinks. Will his position be expected aggressive? It's the point. Can he get one pick? He got that chance, but he has messed up. The spike is again dropped in a similar kind of a position. The Haunt will reveal the homeboy's position. These will come in with the Molotov. Nowhere to run for one tap god. Dieversity eSports just looking so good on the defender's half.
They're just not able to catch much of a break here. Every single time the members of Dieversity, they're just filling in those cracks so quickly, especially when it comes down to Homeboy versus Vexy. Homeboy has been able to get pretty knee deep in a lot of these angles, but as soon as he tries to do anything on this Neon, it's always Vexy who just cuts off his team and isolates out Homeboy in a bad position. You can tell that the scoreline is kind of reflecting that, because Homeboy generally is the one to make a lot of the space, right? And even after he makes space, there's nothing his team can do, because they're constantly being cut off by utility or by Vexy just running in the face of his opposition with a judge in hand. It's stuff like this, the small things that allow the members of Dieversity to win out on a lot of these rounds. And map number 1 is going in this direction. RAD Syndicate, they're looking to be in a world of hurt if they're not careful, especially when it comes down to Paradox, because we'd expect that, hey, Paradox, as one of those players that just has ample amounts of experience, he can lead his team to victory, but it's a little bit tough, and you can tell that Dieversity just have the entire map under lockdown a little bit better, purely on the basis of the agents that they do have in their arsenal. Sky, as of right now, is just a bygone era of initiators, because Fade is just far more stronger and more superior in almost every single way.
Yeah, true. I mean, I thought that, you know, Soa would have been a better option, but then now what's done is done. Okay, Panda might. Oh, he has spotted one. He has spotted the breach. Panda will catch him off guard. Does he have the gun in his hand? He has the gun! He couldn't recover. He has spotted the spike. Now Panda will relay the information, obviously, and the Yoru ultimate being committed. Though, oh, okay, Noob was taken down over there, but UV tries to take down one tap god. He got taken down. Storm finishes things off in style, and he converts the 5th round for his team. Dieversity eSports. You know, I thought that with 2 duelists on their half, they're starting on the defensive side. I think RAD Syndicate is missing out on a trick where these guys have to go ahead and, you know, create space, which these guys are doing so good and so well. And I think Som and obviously Vexy needs to be given credits to, because on those you know, positionings, you need to create value. Otherwise, it's going to be very, very difficult for these players. But then RAD Syndicate, as you said, okay, it's going to be. Oof.
Oh my god, that is so risky. So he's still swung.
Som will be kicking himself. Then Song still is holding a cheeky position. He is still not taken down. Wait, he missed it. Song. Oh my god. Still recovers himself, takes out the gun and takes the last player down. It was so easy for him. The 6th round coming in easy for Dieversity eSports. Aggressive.
Make it big for their team, because Som's positioning was just absolutely perfect for these hits. But then again, the confidence on this one Euro player is what's really the most scariest part of it all. RAD Syndicate, they have yet to really come together as a team for a lot of these rounds, and it's understandably so, because again, they just are not really playing a composition that is really well fit for the current meta of mine. Valorant has now evolved into a game where Breach once more is just a character of a bygone era. Again, it's just the Euro is just so good in almost every single way. Why would you pick another initiator if you have that to work out in your arsenal? And it seems as though I've been talking a little bit too much about Song, because that caster's curse is a cruel mistress indeed. Gives him the curse here on towards the back, and he's going to be the one to take a couple of steps back from the server for this particular round. Going over to a possible 6-2 score line. No, this is risky. Played inside of the smoke, and he's going to be putting his life on the line for that one.
Yeah. Oh, UV takes down Vexy over there. Not a bit difficult for these 2 players. Okay. He lets Sky to take the plant, and obviously his ultimate will also be active right now. Homeboy, he gets Panda. One tap god. Really big task onto him. Homeboy, just jumping, and he was just a bait for Tricky to come in and finish things off. The second round coming in for RAD Syndicate. You know, we have been talking about that how RAD Syndicate has been planning things out on their attackers half. Yeah, I mean, Sky and Breach obviously seems like a normal agent right now, but then the kind of plays they could have made with Breach and Neon in play, I think they have missed out a trick. But with all the 5 ultimates active for RAD Syndicate right now, this round will be interesting to watch. Let's see how Dieversity eSports plans out. Okay. Destroys one tap out. Destroys the camera over there. Tricky. He picks up Vexy. Past 2 rounds, Vexy has not been able to contribute. And once the Neon is out of the play, it becomes a lot more easier for RAD Syndicate to slow things down and take the control. Okay, Som, he has the big gun. He has the operator in his hand. The neural theft being used. Now the information will be coming. So this is going to be an A hit.
Trying to rush this one out, but it's just not going to be working out in their favor. You can tell that Som just inside of the smoke. He's going to be able to find value. And one good spam is going to give them so much to work with. One tap got from the sideline, still from the top rope, is going to be able to shut down another. Homeboy takes the back seat. They still do have the orbital strike to go in for this hit and still hold on to the side, but a little bit too early on the utilization because a lot of the other players are still very much alive to try and go in for this fight. UB's positioning not really known, but they're still going to be able to work their way in towards the side. Time ticking away now. The members of RAD Syndicate need to be a little bit more due diligent in the way that they're holding onto the side. One kill is pretty much going to be a necessity, but this one Cypher ults give them the information that they need. F Noob in towards the back, misses out on the opportunity. UV turns it all around. One by one, they keep on falling down over to a 2v2. The spike out taken away. They're not going to be able to turn this one around. One tap got good for the kill, but absolutely no one to come in and defuse the spike. RAD Syndicate, they take this round by the skin of their teeth, and Som, he also loses his life in the process. The up now no longer in play, and a 6-3 scoreline going in the favor of RAD Syndicate.
Yeah, slowly and steadily they have started to pick things up, and I think UV's position was so important and so crucial, and those 2 picks coming in from his side was so important, because if he would have fallen early in that area, I think it would have been very easy for the Dieversity eSports to go for that retake. In this positioning, I think right now what Dieversity eSports needs to plan out is what. Oh wait, these guys are not going to take it slow. Just going to go ahead and make the room for themselves. Vexy was trying to go out and get something, but the information is now out that these guys are going towards B because nobody has been spotted. The Cubby area and the A-shot area has been cleared. The A-link, they went towards the A-link and checked out. Obviously, Trailblazer have come in. We'll find out one player, but no. It's always difficult to take down a running Neon. Homeboy gets the better of Panda over there. Som was also taken out. The spike has been planted. But they have the orbital strike, Dieversity eSports. But no. Oh, wait. Homeboy's position has been revealed as the orbital strike comes in. But again, just to clear out the space, this retake has become much more difficult now, aggressive.
Side retakes are in general so much more difficult to break into, especially for positions like this. One good opener is all that they need, and the positioning is just perfect coming in from the members of RAD Syndicate. Utility utilization was accurate to the way that they wanted to make this hit happen. And again, it's just that I don't know what both of the Brimstones are trying to do with their orbital strike usage, because every single time I see this orbital strike come in, it feels like they're not really utilizing it to its fullest caliber. Every single time this orbital strike has found 0 value, even when it came down to the entry. Yeah, I get it. You wanted to use the orbital strike to at least clear out the entirety of elbow, stop Homeboy from holding a very close quarters angle, but you need to guarantee a kill with that orbital strike or at least take over space. you didn't have any of your players pushing in from the outskirts of defender spawn, you had no one going into the site, then what was the purpose of this overall strike? You wanted elbow control, but as soon as you take elbow control, you still have hookah, the main entrance of B long, and you have players sitting inside of the site. So at that point, you just serve no purpose on utilizing such an ability. And this has been a true fact every single goddamn time throughout this entire game, that the players are not really fully utilizing one of the strongest ults in the game. Yeah, I know this ult is a little bit telegraphed, but when you utilize it well, Brimstone's ult is probably one of the strongest ults in the game.
I mean, obviously, you are correct. Aggressive. I mean, the orbital strike could have been used to stop the plant. They couldn't do that, and I think this is something which these guys need to think. Specifically, I thought it was UV, but now it's both the Brimstones who are messing things up right now. But then, obviously, it's the 11th round, which has been started. Oh wait, Panda, he went ahead, but wait, he gets the second one too before the relay bolt hit. He took down UV. The smoker is out now. Now it's going to be difficult for RAD Syndicate to make in towards the B side. Can use a teleport to just, try to make things up, but it's going to be okay. Just makes a sound. Oh, just mind games over there. He went inside the teleport. Doesn't need to wait. Tricky is planting the bomb though. The spike has been planted. Okay. Som, he comes in. And he has spotted the positionings. So the information will be relayed and he comes in towards... Oh wait. Sinks! His position now! Sinks is expected and Sinks will be taken down. Now RAD Syndicate. Homeboy, wait, he commits his ultimate and this is going to be very, very risky now. Oh, wait, no! Homeboy gets one, he can get third one as well. With the swinging movement, he takes down Noob as well and converts around for RAD Syndicate. Here you go. Oh, finally, some moment for RAD Syndicate. Clutch comes in their favor. It obviously helps them. And in this way, I think...
It seems as though my boy Oro has completely disconnected for a second, or it could have been me as well. We don't really know just about that, ladies and gentlemen. But one of the bigger things that we did witness in that last particular round was the speed of these overall executions coming in from the members of RAD Syndicate. They are being a lot more potent in their overall approach, and that's what's giving them such a significant edge here. They're decisive in the way that they're taking a lot of these fights, and that's so crucial when you're going up against a team like this. Decisiveness can give you so much, but Sings being a little bit too aggro for no apparent reason. It's going to be one-tap God now, holding on to the line here. First on the shots, but one-tap God regardless. With the stun of the relay bolt, still able to find that hit. Now Tricky stepping up to the table, does have the flash to try and give himself a little bit more information. They're gonna try to pop through, take over backside control, but I love the positioning coming in from one tap God in such a good spot. Opening is perfect, but Tricky is able to find all the kills that he needs, and RAD Syndicate, they turn things around from a 6-1 scoreline down over to a 6-6. Dieversity, they're still in it to try and win it. RAD Syndicate now for the overall setup. They have been looking clean. Now this is the perfect utilization of that orbital strike, understanding that there was a player on the back end of site. Tricky, use that orbital strike to go in for that perfect splash. Blind out, one tap God, get that opening kill on towards Panda and immediately spray transfer over onto one tap God. There was one last player, F-Newt, swinging out from the back end of spawn, but that's completely fine because situations like this can happen. This is how the orbital strike is meant to be utilized. This is how you bring in such a powerful ability and the utility at the same time. You have that kill threat potential, plus even if the ability misses, your teammate can carry forward with the space it provides.
Yep. It's gonna be interesting now with the 6-6 scoreline. Looks like they're coming in towards B long. And okay, a lot of flashes being used. Saying no, he's blind. He was stuck in the corner. He recovered. But these guys are in the move and they are just running in towards the B side. Tricky cannot. Oh, he finds one, but it was Sings who got one. Noob got the better of him, and I think the trades has been very good for Dieversity eSports. Spike has still not been planted. They have been planted, but wait, Vexy has created the space for them. And Panda, he just finishes things off towards Hookah. UV was coming in. He took the teleport over there, but then, I mean, they expected that. They could have avoided these movements and could have gone together for the retake, but the thinking was different. Obviously, nobody was checking these corners. They should have expected a push coming in from Vexy. But the 7th round coming in favor of Dieversity eSports looks like a good start, just like how they started on their defensive half. Dieversity, they just need to keep up this work so that they can, take this first map in their favor.
Absolutely. Dieversity back in towards the driver's seat for this BO3. RAD Syndicate, though, not gonna give themselves up on the wheel that quickly. Suns come through, Relive Bolt utilized to try and give a little bit more space to the Bucky.
Oh, no.
Not really able to find much, but never mind. The members of RAD Syndicate, they just light up the kill feed on green. What the hell just happened? The entire feed just turned from the side of Dieversity over to the opposite side. The perfectly utilized rush coming in from the side of A Short is gonna give them so much free space to play for. Spike in the hands of the Euro, but that's completely fine and dandy because they're waiting out on the angle. They're going to take their time, and they are not going to be afraid. A high-low setup coming in. They're going to try to go in for the shot and the hit. One flash dodged out, and it's going to be Tricky, who comes in to close everything out. 7-7, this eco round again. It's similar to what happened in this first initial half. These eco rounds are where the members of RAD Syndicate are able to calm themselves down and come together as a team. They are doing wonders when it comes down to this overarching gameplay, because Dieversity, as soon as they get a little bit too complacent in their positions, RAD Syndicate, they turn up the heat.
Yeah. RAD Syndicate, they look much better where they were 6-2, like in a situation where they could have lost the plot, but then they have recovered well. UV there takes down Vexy. Okay, Paradox and Homeboy just contributes towards the shower area. And the last player standing, he gets taken down. Obviously, they didn't have the weaponry to take on the mighty RAD Syndicate on this round. RAD Syndicate just picked things up at the correct positionings. I think the thing RAD Syndicate is doing correctly right now is one thing is I have seen is they have their trade game going on. So once you have that trade game going on, and also the kind of executions and the plans they have set up, like for example, in last round, there were 2 players towards that shower area who were watching, and they were expecting the play coming in from Dieversity eSports that they will come in towards shower, and Som was placed over there. But UV now has taken an initial position. Not an orthodox position where Brim plays, but then still, if he manages to get any pick over there, but then Vexy is trying. And if anybody is playing close towards the shower area, he hasn't cleared all the angles though. He will get the sound over there. Trailblazer will reveal a position, and the flash with Paradox's teleport usage. This
what a shot!
Movement! Oh no, they were taken with a surprise. They did not expect that this will be coming through. And this plan from RAD Syndicate just shows that the confidence is up and running for them.
Absolutely. This is the team that we know and love, ladies and gentlemen. This is a team full of those experienced individuals that can take this entire tournament by storm. Give them the chance, give them an inch, and they're going to be the ones to take a mile away from you. But at the same time, you should never count out the members of Dieversity. That last round, yes, of course, it was buy round for them, but they still have a little bit of a safety net that they can play for. Take it slow, take it steady, build upon the advantages that you already have, and keep the ball rolling in your court. It's all going to start from here. How do you want to build this overall setup? How do you want to go in for this push? Because for now, Dieversity are looking to be one of those squads that just try to opt to go in for a little bit of a plan here early. The members of RAD Syndicate, they did give away their lives a little bit early here, primarily because Vexy was able to catch out so much space this early on. And take over Lamb's control, but still the retake up for the cards. Tricky for the position, has the Trailblazer to give them the full info of where these players could be. Relay bolt utilized, stuck in a corner. Vexy is going to be good for a kill, but Sings already answers back over towards the opposite side, looking for more, and Sings, good God, the shots just keep on connecting. Last player already spotted and sent back home packing. 7-10 as RAD Syndicate. They still hold the lead, and they're one step closer to getting to that 12 score line to set us over onto match.
Yeah, I think RAD Syndicate has cracked it, and the players are feeling it. The way they are, they went into for the retake. It shows on the instant replay, right? The Trailblazer came in first, along with that, the relay bolt came in, and Vexy still managed to take down Paradox over there, but Homeboy and Sings in tandem, I think, took down 2 players, which was, I think, the key over there, and got the 10th round in their favor. So now, this is going to be very, very important because they are still going in for a buy. They don't have the economy to support it, though. They see half armors there with some Judge and Homeboy. Okay, RAD Syndicate will just love this, but Vexy, he holds the key. Oh, he almost took down Tricky over there onto 31 HP. The override being committed, but the trap did the thing over there. Homeboy, he was running in, one tap got in. Panda and Noob, they were ready for this thing. Orbital Strike is ready for Dieversity. Dieversity finally are going in towards A right now, not committing towards B. Some confusion. Orbital Strike, will UV use it? Is the question. Oh, Paradox, he can use it. Orbital Strike should have been used. Oh, he uses it, but he needs to convert his Paradox. Paradox finds it. Paradox, can he get the one more? Can you get the pick onto Som? It's a 1v2 situation. Very difficult for Paradox right now, but he can pull things up. Position, the reposition from Som. Now it has become more difficult for Paradox. Just walking in Som's crosshair, and Som will finish it up. Yeah. 8th round for Dieversity comes in.
It's just the beauty of the game here, ladies and gentlemen. They're able to find so much value, but when it comes down to the very end stages, you're just not going to be able to finish everything up just yet. Dieversity still in it to try and win it here. Slowly crawling their way back out of the ditch that they have dug themselves into. Dieversity, they have the options to really go in for the big plays here, especially with the dimensional drift and also a good utilization of the Yuri ultimate as well. The Yuri can just block the entrance. Wait a second, we could have utilized the orbital strike on the player that's on that angle, but instead they didn't opt to do so. This is a little bit of a tough call here because Som doesn't really have the weapon to try and take this fight just yet. In towards the close corners, Yugi instantly trying to make a run for it here. Homeboy all the way towards the back end. He wants to go in for a big flank, but instead he's going to rotate his way back forward for his team to try and isolate out a lot of these fights. It's all about the timing now. As the members of RAD Syndicate, they need to try and converge together to get into better positions. They need to wait for the smokes to dissipate, allow Homeboy to work his magic with this operator, but thing is, they're losing a lot of time, and one tap God is making them lose bodies and players as well.
Yep. The spam worked in favor of one tap God, and obviously they'll lose out of that operator. Now the economy looks a little disturbed. If they lose out on this round, Dieversity, obviously some good picks coming in from their side. I mean, the ultimate from Som's side just revealed the information that, and also created a lot of space where the A shot was taken in control, and I think once the spike was planted, it was in favor of Dieversity. Looks like a B stack from RAD Syndicate, but oh no, this fight was avoidable. Tricky over there, fighting alone. I don't understand these kind of situations where they're committing some individual duels, which is not required on their defensive half. If you are having a support, it's okay, but then now just look at the Cypher. He has taken control. Everybody rotated towards A. There was nobody watching this area. Now they have the control. You don't have the... Oh no, Panda's position! It was expected. It was expected. Som converts. onto Noob. Paradox now, he steps up. Oh no, they messed up. This time, Dieversity eSports missed out on the trick. Homeboy, it's the last pick onto Vexy. And the 11th round comes in. They can finally have a breathing space, which they have created. But Dieversity eSports, they messed up. Oh, what a tough call.
Absolutely. This was a very bad round coming out from them overall as they tried to go in for a very fast rush, and that rush was immediately put onto Behold. Members of RAD Syndicate, even with the strong amounts of utility that the members of Dieversity had, just couldn't really bring themselves to win out on this round. Again, it just really came down to the combination of the utility that they were trying to utilize. The Orbital Strike could have been a game changer for them, but the fact that it was just lost out so early on in the round just brought them down over to their knees. UV in the perfect angle, opts for the swing. He does find the kill. That's a big one to find that early on in a particular round here too. As the smoke's now coming in, as UV just needs to wait. They have the manpower advantage going in their favor. And it will have to be the members of Dieversity who go in for this first hit. UV's position completely alone. He's going to be able to find two. They're looking for the last. They know exactly where he is. Tries to opt for the runaway play, go towards the opposite side. But if all of the members of RAD Syndicate go in together, there's absolutely nothing in this world that they have to worry about.
That is Haunt. He has the Nightfall activated those. Homeboy. Oh no, he has taken this positioning, but obviously Homeboy would take that bait, obviously. He just ran in blindly. You know, just to reveal the position, and I think that the way the round got converted from RAD Syndicate, snatch points in their favor. I think the way the RAD Syndicate started, we thought that, RAD Syndicate, on that map, Vito, what were they thinking while they were picking this map? But then slowly and steadily they showed that why they had picked this map, where the kind of Asian compositions they went with, we were questioning it once we saw how the Sky and the Breach combination was playing with that, with Vexy over there on that Neon. But slowly and steadily the things have started coming in, falling in places, and I think they need one more round obviously to convert things up. But Dieversity is what they have taken a timeout. They still want to take chances on this map. They have it in them. They have done it in rounds, but once they went on to their attackers half, it has been difficult for them to convert it. So yeah, they need to talk things up. They need to understand what RAD is trying to do at this point of time, so that they make no mistake, because they cannot afford to lose out a round on this point at this point of time.
They need to be smart in their overall approach. That's another big thing for them. These engagements are not that simple, ladies and gentlemen. There has to be so much more that you need to give into rounds like this to take victories. For RAD Syndicate, even when they're on the 12th round, they cannot get overly cocky, because we've seen this in the past, that a lot of teams tend to get a bit too overconfident, especially when they're this close to victory.
Oh, no.
They start making mistakes, while on the opposite side, they're like rabid dogs trying to make sure that they have a little bit of a chance in victory. And it's going to be Vexy with the first initial opener, but still Paradox swings out, and he's still going to be able to get that kill. Good God, Paradox. He's going in for more of a fight. The finger gun comes out from Homeboy as the overdrive just tears through the entire server. All up to Sam now to try and finish everything off, to try and keep the hopes and dreams alive for this particular map for his team. But Homeboy is not gonna be taking any prisoners. 9-13, ladies and gentlemen, as the members of RAD Syndicate, they take this victory under their belt.
I mean, it was a brilliant move coming in from Homeboy. He was so good over there on that override. He committed onto that override, and again he came in for the last pick as well with that operator, and RAD Syndicate closes things up. They didn't want to make any mistake. They didn't want to lose out on any more rounds, so that it could drag on more, so that we have seen once teams close up to that double-digit marker, they usually creeps onto that 11th mark, and then we have an overtime in our hand, which RAD Syndicate did not want whatsoever. So now the scoreline from the scene is, obviously they have taken the first map, and with this on the line, that the quarterfinals is live at this point of time, it's going to be difficult for Dieversity. They have to win the next two maps. One of it is obviously on their map pick, but if we see some kind of situations going not in their favor, and RAD Syndicate comes up with a strong plan on Lotus, I think it's going to be very, very difficult for them to convert things up, because again, it's a big map. We will see 3 sides, and the Decider is also on Haven. So Decider will come into play later if we see Dieversity winning on this map. Otherwise, it will be a 2-0 situation for and a win-win situation for RAD Syndicate.
Absolutely. There's like a situation for pretty much everything here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm pretty sure the scorecards can give us a little bit more of a better understanding of what went wrong and what went right for the members of Dieversity, because I do believe that they had a pretty strong chance of winning out on this particular game, but they just didn't really rally together properly behind that Euro in a lot of cases. Som as well didn't really play that initiator role that well. He did it pretty good when it came down to those earlier rounds, but as soon as the rounds just kept on rolling forward, you could tell that RAD Syndicate, they kept on gaining steam, while the members of Dieversity just kept on falling like dominoes at each and every turn. They kept getting ran over on so many of these fights, and it's hard to watch in a lot of situations when you say that to me, because I love this double duelist composition now, because I do believe that Valorant is probably in the healthiest state when it is in a double duelist meta, because at least in our region, the speed of these executions is where the real fun of the game is at. Playing tactically, yeah, that's one part of the game, but when you have that high speed octane gameplay that you can utilize, you can also play slow, you can also play fast. There are different dynamics to each and every team. You can build it upon your own playstyle, and in this particular instance, the much more slower-ended, the much more grounded playstyle that we had previously for the last couple of years, being that double initiator setup, just found better routing, because again, no one seems to be utilizing Euro as that second initiator pick. You have One Tap God giving you all of the information that you want on that feed. Yeah, I do agree, but you need to use it in proper conjunction with your Euro utility. I didn't see a single flash being utilized to facilitate the Fade Horn that was being thrown in. Generally, when you throw a Fade Horn, you want to throw a flash out as well, or you want to flash first, then throw that Fade Horn, so that the Fade Horn can at least bring some value in for your team by giving away a couple of the positions of the players, so your Prowler has an easier time going in for clearance.
Correct.
None of that happened for the member side Dieversity, and it was a recurring theme that happened on the defensive side and also on the attack.
I remember a similar kind of movement coming in from RAD Syndicate side, where a flash was thrown, and obviously that was a sky flash before he went in with the Trailblazer, and obviously they used teleporter from A site and came in and took down the Cypher Sinks over there. So that was a good movement coming in. So the way you are saying, I think the similar kind of plan what these guys could have used, the information was not relayed, and the corners weren't checked. UV was given such free hand where he was sneaking in those corners and he was getting those 1 or 2 picks easily. He tried it 2 times. One time he was successful, but then if such rounds are such easily given up, I think it's very difficult for teams like Dieversity eSports to get, make a comeback. Because what I see right now, I thought that it was Dieversity's, it was actually RAD Syndicate's pick, but then it was Dieversity who picked Bind. So now they have lost, themselves on their own map pick. Now they will move on to Lotus, which is RAD Syndicate's, play area. And the way these guys played on Bind, which was a much shorter map where fast rotations were possible. Now, I think the focus and the strategy, the executions are much more required on a map like Lotus, where I think rotations will play a key factor. The Asian picks will be a key factor, where I might see a Vice. We might see some changes coming in from obviously both the teams. But I would want Dieversity eSports to come up with some backup plan. But otherwise, I think I would back RAD Syndicate to win this best of 3.
Absolutely. It's all about taking certain victories away from your opposition in situations like this. And in map number 2, the map of Lotus being the home ground for the enemies, it's going to be a little bit tough, but RAD Syndicate haven't really shown to be one of the best of teams on those particular maps. They do have tendencies of having some problems time to time here, but again, Hakuna Matata, it's completely fine, because generally RAD Syndicate, they are a team that can struggle on those longer maps, on those larger maps, where they have a tendency of just going over the aggressive. But when you see that aim, when you see how well that they have been playing, with Raze also being a possible pickup coming in for the next possible game, Paradox is really good on the duelist if you want to give him that role. He generally likes to play on the controller as well. There's so many different
Yeah.
options that the team generally wants to go in for. While for the side of Dieversity, they have that element of surprise that no one has really seen them playing this particular map. So maybe they have a couple of set plans and strategies that we do not know of, and they could be the ones to surprise us
Probably.
because of it.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, Hakuna Matata, I would also want the same thing to happen because I want to see heaven, right? And once you are in those important stages, like it is right now, it's the qualifiers. You want to make your position solidify for the semifinals, which is not going to be so easy when you have your opponents with one map up in a best of three situation, and with Lotus coming in, as you said, that RAD Syndicate has a tendency to sometimes lose out on things. So it's going to be more important for RAD Syndicate now. So all eyes on them and how they plan things out. One, because if they have picked out this map knowing that they don't perform so well, or maybe it's not the 100% on a map like Lotus where you need to be strategically so sound. I think with kind of agents coming in, like I will obviously want to see a raise on a map like Lotus with an Omen, maybe an Astra. Let's see what these guys have planned out, because the way you said, and also we have seen how Fade has been so important for all teams to have on, I think, all the maps. So yeah, one Fade is also expected. But last time we saw some different agent picks coming in from RAD Syndicate side. They went it with a much more safer or a default play, which we had seen in the past times, but things have changed obviously. So will they adapt onto that, or will we see a similar kind of a agent pick? We'll know that. We'll know about that.
Yeah, it all really does come down to one particular thing, whether or not a particular player can just fill in the shoes of the agents that are required.
Yeah.
Double Duelist is pretty strong on the map of Lotus. You also have the Chamber meta making an upsurgence here recently, especially with the Chamber buffs. Now that Chamber can place down the trademark almost anywhere. You'll also have the potential of a double controller setup that could be coming in. Viper is pretty potent as well. So this
Correct.
particular map just has a lot of different options that you can play for.
Yeah.
Now, when you have a lot of different options, that is where teams start to make a lot more mistakes, because they
Correct.
think that, hey, we can do this, we can do that. That means that we should be playing this particular composition just because it is much more of a meta comp. But playing a meta comp in the current stage of Valorant, especially when you're in a mixed team, I would say, because a lot of these teams, they have not been playing together for a really long time. They're just a mixed bag of really experienced players. They're the goats of all, pretty much. And they're just here to have fun here in the Intel Gamer days.
Yeah.
And when you have a team like that, you can't really always play for the meta. One of the teams that we do know that are hard stuck and have been sticking together for a very long time are the players of Asterisk and also Dieversity. They are a team that have been playing for a very good amount of time. They are a team that have built upon their synergies, but synergy alone is just not going to be enough to win you out on every single one of those matches. And as we do see the scorecards here, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to paint a little bit more of a better picture for you guys back at home. Som, yes, he did have a lot of kills. He had a lot of impact throughout the entire game, but that's kind of where it all ends. He had a lot of solo impact, but when it came down to the team play that he could have brought for his squad, it just didn't exist.
Yep. Obviously, I think Som and UV were cutting things off. I mean, they did the maximum part of, I think, with the numbers at least. UV with 22 frags and obviously Som with 19. But, we have seen multiple times teams where have players who have just 10 or 12 frags, but that is not important. It's how much impact you have created with your agent pick and how much value you have created with that agent for your team. And I think the way Paradox was helping specifically after the swap happened. So once we had that swap happening, I saw a big change in Paradox's movement. You said correct. I think if Paradox is given a duelist, it becomes a very different player. We have seen him. He is an experienced campaigner, obviously. With Tricky over there, let's see how Tricky is gonna pick his agent on Lotus. We might see him on a controller or maybe an initiator again, because on a map like Lotus, we will want more controllers. with the kind of composition they went in. Bind was obviously a very different map than Lotus. You have those sites to control, so obviously it's going to be very important for both the teams to understand that what goes best for us in this situation. I saw Vexy step up in some rounds with that judge, but then once that was decoded, he couldn't make those value. And I think when you have two duelists like Som and Vexy, you need to fire all cylinders. Otherwise, if you are not able to create space with your duelist, I think it will be very difficult for a Fade and a Brim and a Cypher to create space and get that control, which was missing on their attackers half. They started well, but then Dieversity missed out on that trick. The scoreline was 6-6 when the first swap happened. So I think they could have converted more rounds on their defenders half, which they missed out.
Yeah, UV is going to be the one who takes the spotlight for it all. 36% headshot percentage for this man. He was on the Brimstone, so as a Brimstone player, the fact that you have 300 ACS to your name is absolutely insane. With an average damage per round of 200 as well, he's almost guaranteeing a kill every single goddamn round. And having numbers like this pretty much guarantees that your team will be able to ride the momentum and keep it rolling, moving on to map number 2 as well. Map number 2 will be quite the interesting feat here, ladies and gentlemen, because the game of Lotus is going to go the distance possibly. And will it be a map pickup from the members of Dieversity? Will we be seeing map number 3, which will be Haven? Or will it end off in a cool and icy fashion where the members of RAD Syndicate, they take a clean sweep victory for themselves, shutting down all of the opportunities that could have been taken by the members of Dieversity? It all really comes down to that mental game as well. Whether or not these esports athletes on the side of Dieversity are able to keep their cool, calm, and build a strategy that they can really utilize. Play for the comfort, not for the meta. This is going to be a key point that both of these squads have to remember going into Lotus, because Lotus is a map that allows you to have a lot of creative freedom that most of the other maps don't easily give.
Yeah, I think obviously both the teams will have to see what they can do best on the map, specifically for RAD Syndicate. Being said that they are not the best on Lotus, but they have picked this time Lotus so that they would have some point to prove. Obviously, they have a plan and a set play coming in, so obviously I'm expecting something good in their favor. But then Dieversity, we haven't seen them playing, on a map like a Lotus, or when you are a team where a lot of secrets are not known, or your cards are not known to your opponents. It's better or it's good, I think. And I think in this situation, Dieversity esports, they just want to play every round on their merit, because thinking too much is not going to help them, has not helped them on Bind at least, where going in with a double duelist situation, they couldn't convert those rounds where it was most needed, at least on their attackers half. They missed out on a lot of rounds. So once they are on Lotus, where we are going to see rounds being converted on that attackers half, it's going to be the defense half which is going to be very important. Whoever controls the defense half much better, I think, is going to win that map.
Absolutely. It's all going to be started from there, but seems as though, as we are going to be waiting in for this next particular game here, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to check out all the links down below in the description, because in the celebration of the Intel Gamer Days, if you check out Flipkart right now, you can grab yourself an Intel Core powered gaming laptop starting at just 52,990 INR till the 7th of September. And of course, you can also get a no-cost EMI on select models with select bank cards as well. If you want more information on that, make sure to check out the pinned comment on the side. And hey, if you want a recommendation for us of what laptop you should be checking out, you should be checking out the Asus ROG Strix G16, available at a discounted price. It has an Intel Core i7 14th gen processor with an RTX 5050. Plus, this also does offer maximum performance because it also includes a 240Hz display for the price. Plus, it's on a discount and you get a 240Hz display. So you can also, at the site, grab yourself a 60Hz monitor, also possibly on a discount. So make sure to check out everything at Flipkart, ladies and gentlemen, because if you want something big, you have to make sure you click on those links down below. And it seems as though we've gotten some confirmation that the players are already going to be starting the game. That's why we've been sitting on the caster, so there's going to be no breaks. You got to sit and look at our ugly mugs for a little while longer. Well, my ugly mug, my boy Oro, is a lot more handsome than me, that's for certain. But that's completely fine, because the players are gunning to go in towards the match, and we're excited to bring you all of that action.
Yep, we are very excited to see what the Asian compositions are, because we have seen a lot of Asian compositions in the past though. But then this is going to be interesting this time, because it's RAD Syndicate going up against Dieversity eSports. It's the qualifiers obviously, and Dieversity eSports on their best of 3 have lost the first map on their map pick. This is going to be very important. I see a Vice already. So it's already going to be very interesting. I see Sinks on a Vice and Som. Okay, it's going to be interesting. Last time he was on a Yoru. This time he's on an initiator. Let's see how this thing pans out.
Interesting game here, and this is where I'm really surprised on whether or not the members of Dieversity have a game plan to check with, because they've completely switched out their setup. Of course, the Vice is going to be absolutely crucial for you to have on this particular game here, because the Vice just allows you to just hold on to that C site so much better compared to a lot of the other Sentinels. But it does put you in a little bit more of a susceptible position towards those flanking positions. You need to be a lot more aware for those hits to come in. As for now, all of the players, they're just building upon the overall set play, as it seems as though UV doesn't really know what he wants to play here just yet. He's just setting up with his teammates, and a very stable composition coming in from both sides. It's going to be a mirror comp from either end, and whichever team does play that double initiator setup a lot more better will be the ones to take this victory here for their squad. Now, am I really surprised that this happened for the map of Lotus? Not really, because when it is a 3-sided map, you want to have a lot of ample amounts of utility that you can utilize to go in for those instantaneous rotations. What was the biggest surprise, though, in my eyes, was that no one really opted to go in for the double duelist here with a possible double initiator without any form of a sentinel or even a double controller setup. Some players do generally go in for a double duelist in the sense of, hey, one of the duelists will be chamber, where you have a double sentinel composition instead, with a Vice in the chamber just running around and being an absolute nuisance on the different sides. But I get what they're trying to go for. They want to go in for that comfort setup that we were talking about previously. Having more comfort here, especially on the side of Dieversity, will be very crucial for them, because they've made significant amount of mistakes here already for that first initial map, and they don't want it to repeat in game number 2.
Yep. People are ready. So Dieversity eSports on their defenders half. Let's see. Last time we saw them on the defender side, we saw a good start for them. Okay, a bridge. This time, RAD Syndicate, they're taking things slow, just like they did on Bind. The Omen. Okay, Sinks is sitting inside that Omen smoke. He's just waiting. But somebody, it's Noob actually, who has creeped on. Oh no, he missed out on the trick. Why did he shoot? He should have waited. The trigger discipline was required, but one tap guard. He connected onto Sinks over there. The trade was good. But then they can move in towards B though, but they're not going in. This is going to be a surprise for Vexy. The A side is up for grabs. Everybody will come in towards, it's one tap guard, waiting for the Paranoia to come in, but no, the Paranoia has not been committed. Aftershock being used, the Paranoia being committed, or the utility dump is there, but then it's not in favor of Dieversity eSports. Dieversity eSports players have lost members, just like what happened on Mine. Again, oh wait, Som suddenly making things possible. He will switch up to a Ghost. Paradox just waiting for the UV. It just helps, I think, helped Reach over there, and I think he will convert it around for him. But that thing is, I think the way Dieversity thought of playing things out didn't work in their favor, and I think they were not expecting such kind of a rush coming in the first round, which they should have expected at least.
I mean, it's RAD Syndicate after all. Expect the unexpected when going up against a team like this, because they will never slow down even a beat. That's the beauty of the game of Valorant. You can't always predict what your opponents are going to do, but at the same time, that unpredictability is what a lot of players hate as well. So it's a love-hate relationship. As you can already see, it seems as though the members of RAD Syndicate, they're just going to be running things down. Homeboy being an absolute menace to society. Just running around, breaking ankles here with the Bucky in hand. 0-2 as RAD Syndicate, they've stepped on the gas pedal, and they're traveling at the speed of light.
I think Homeboy is looking very confident, specifically after the last match, where he was one of the key members. Where once there was a momentum shift in favor of RAD Syndicate, where they were on a losing round streak. Once they converted that momentum, it was Homeboy who got that momentum back in their favor. So yeah, this time he's again having that bucket. This is a bonus buy round. Last time RAD Syndicate could not convert the bonus buy. It was Dieversity who converted, but this time UV comes in with Homeboy. Homeboy gets the pick on one tap god. Obviously he is stunned right now. Panda, he does not have an answer. So the bonus buy is working, and obviously I think this is not looking good for Dieversity eSports. Already their confidence is shattered after Bind, where they lost on their map pick, and now it's Lotus, where they are unable to understand that what is happening. Okay, at least Som has some answer. He takes down Homeboy over there. Can he save the weaponry is the question right now.
Not really in the best of spots here. Som is going to get caught out by someone. He wants to try and at least get a kill in the process, but it's a little bit of a dangerous spot for him to be in. No real clearance whatsoever. He doesn't want to take a swing. He's going to be able to save the weapon at the bare minimum, so that's going to alleviate some of the economic pressure. But then again, RAD Syndicate, they've done wonders to already take this one away. Som, he's hunting out the last kill, but he's not going to be able to spot it out here. So for now, Dieversity still in the perfect spot, I would say, with the one weapon that they're able to save up. They just need to cycle this one out properly if they want to take a victory up against the members of RAD Syndicate. But it could be a lot more better, especially in that last round. A lot of their players just died out way too quickly. RAD Syndicate, the amount of pressure that they are creating is just very overwhelming for the members of Dieversity. They've yet to get a proper read on what's the members of RAD Syndicate are really thinking, and nothing's really stopping them. Vixie tries to opt for the swing, immediately gets shut down. Homeboy with this judge is an absolute nuisance. He's doing so more. Real comes in to cause the damage here, and one tap got stuck in towards the corner. UV already spotted him out here early on, and Dieversity just have no way of trying to stop them. 4 players are on the A side, by the way. 4 goddamn players were just chilling and waiting there, but it didn't even matter.
Yep. Som has somehow managed to get some exit frags, but this time Homeboy, he again gets taken down by Som. This is the second time Som has delivered. Then these picks really doesn't matter if you are not getting around on your scoreboard. Yeah, Paradox will get things done. This time Som won't be able to save that. Vandal, 4th round coming in favor of RAD Syndicate. I said that obviously on Lotus, it is an attacker's favoring map. We'll see teams converting rounds in on their attackers half, but then whoever manages to control the other one on the defenders half will be able to win it. Will have a chance at least, but this time Dieversity eSports, they are unable to understand. See, this the last round they didn't have the weaponry to go with. They have their weaponries again. It's going to be very important. Homeboy once again runs in, takes the control. Nobody this time trying to contest. They're playing slow. This can be very difficult. Yeah, you are just playing in hands of RAD Syndicate. Homeboy is in towards CT now. One tap god will come towards heaven, but oh my goodness me, Homeboy is just turning the heat up. He takes the 3rd one. He is going in. Oh my god. I would have been out of my chair if he would have converted that one as well.
Yeah, it's just Homeboy, man. This guy's not playing Valorant anymore. He's playing a completely different game that starts with the letter C and ends with the letter D. But he's just a movement god for a reason. It's Dieversity. now looking to be a team that just can't really match the pressure that Homeboy is able to create. A lot of these engagements and the speed at which they're able to do it really just comes down to the last couple of moments. As
Yeah.
I don't know how the members of Dieversity are gonna turn this one around, and I think it really will start with a little bit more of better utility usage coming in from Reach for the overall setups. But Vexy, where are you going? Where's your relay bolt? Where's your breach? Where's one tap?
I mean,
she was pissed, but then immediately got bogged down.
aggressive. It looks like players are not communicating to each other. Looks like a lot more individual play coming in. The Razor Wine being committed over there. Actually, the Razor Storm being committed over there, but then Noob got Paradox. Tricky gets one more. He's walking in. Quick, Yubi, my friend, you need to watch. Oh my god. Okay, RAD Syndicate have things under control. Still, they have things under control. It has to be Noob. Okay. His horn was taken down over there. Oh, hey. Noob will fire Noob. Oh my god. For a second, I thought Noob has got it. Then Six swing at the correct time. But yeah, where was Paradox over there? What was Vexy thinking? Looks like nobody is communicating, and Vexy was frustrated and he just wanted to go ahead and take things ahead. But that's not how you do it. It's the sixth round being converted, and one more, time. There is a moment in the game where Dieversity can slow things down by just taking a timeout, just discuss things, just talk to each other, and try to get at least 4 rounds in their favor. It's still possible, but they haven't done it. Let's see what happens in the 7th round.
They're now bringing in the real pressure here from the side of Dieversity, getting that first initial opener that they needed. Take out the problem child known as Homeboy. You're gonna be able to go in for so much of a deeper angle. The fight's already begun. The seaside now completely theirs. Paradox did have to utilize the Rolling Thunder to try and get this. They want an early duel to try and equalize out the man disadvantage, but they're just not going to be able to run out as quickly as they would have wanted. Razor Vines now utilize the Thorn Prison. Could just be what they need to try and hold on to these defensive lines here for their team, but instead the members of Dieversity, they're the ones to take the first initial entry. The kills do come in their favor. The trades going in back and forth. That's all up to Paradox to try and go in for the final shot, but Som with a perfectly timed out one tap to bring in the real round for the side of Dieversity. They take the first one for themselves, and that's all that she rolled for this particular round. Yes, but for RAD Syndicate, losing out on Homeboy that early was pretty much the thing that caused it.
I mean, they have changed things up. They have changed their positions at least. It was Som this time who was controlling C and not Vexy. And he was the one. And I think Som is the one who could be trusted as well, because you can completely see the difference. He is literally the top fragger in this server with 10 frags. Nobody has got it. This is the reason that he is connecting those shots. So he should be the one. But then he is on a sentinel, though. We have to understand the fact that he cannot be the one to commit himself. So they just need to keep up with Som so that whenever he needs help, people are there to support him. Okay, Homeboy has run. He has made his way inside. No. You do not want to do that, my friend. This time he manages. He was just caught in a place where he couldn't hide himself. Spike will go down. RAD Syndicate has things in control, but it's going to be a difficult retake for Dieversity. They have the Horn and a Prowler. Paradox on the other hand. Oh no! He takes it up onto himself. His position is revealed, and Paradox, easy for him. He converts Panda as well. And as I said, it is only Som for Dieversity eSports who's fragging. Once you take him out, it's just done and dusted. It's so easy to convert things up right now for RAD Syndicate.
Absolutely. Som is like that X factor for the team that is always a necessity to have. And if you lose him, that's when your team will really start to fall apart in more ways than one. Som, again, was one of those players that was really performing well when it came down to that last matchup as well, but As soon as he loses his life, that's when his team just cannot rally behind almost anyone. Still, not the end of the world, I would say, for his team. They're still gonna be able to do a lot in a round like this. Oh no, keep the ball rolling in your court because you're given a chance to do so much more. They try to swing out, try to take a duel, but immediately get brought back down to earth here. It's one by one. They keep on falling. The members of RAD Syndicate got overconfident. They got a little bit too zealous, but never mind. Maybe it was Dieversity who was taking things a little bit too lightly in towards the backline. Psalm, again, the hero of the story. Time in and time out. It's his game. He needs to be the one who brings his team back into the limelight each and every role that he does. Sinks, he's going to be aware of this. He's waiting for the timing, but Psalm, patient as per always. He goes in for the swing, but the shot just doesn't connect, and it's going to be Psalm, the clutch master for the team, to get this thrifty for his squad. With just a sheriff in hand and a fast swing, he slaps down his opposition and takes the round away for the members of Dieversity.
Regardless of the weaponry, right, aggressive, this man can be trusted. And his team believed in him. But wait, what was this from Sinks? I mean, if it wasn't Psalm, I think if I was in place of Dieversity, I would have lost all hope. Because the spike was in control, he had the better weapon, he was watching at the correct angle. It was Sinks who was supposed to convert it, but then, again, when you're fighting against Psalm, you need something better than that. But wait, this time, they're on the move. They want things to turn in their favor. Okay, this kid's gonna be a go! Wait, Bexy! And why did Sinks want to fight over there? That was not required at all. One tap god coming in. Okay, the Horn will obviously do something for... So, okay, no. Converted Paradox over there. It's difficult for RAD Syndicate at this point of time. Panda just makes it much more harder. The spike is not planted yet. Vexy is inside trees. He will obviously wait. Won't come in. Position is revealed. New homeboy gets two. Oh my goodness me. This game is turning things up. Homeboy. Noob gets the trade. But this time it's Noob against Tricky. Oh no. He should have taken the swing, but he hasn't. It's gonna be all mind games. Both the fade with the play. Horn doesn't reveal his position. Tricky has his nightfall. He will commit it. And he has no clue. Oh my god, Tricky. He converts the round. Obviously, it was not Psalm for Dieversity this time. So yeah, things didn't turn in their favor.
Last player standing.
I mean, you have to give credit where credit is due, right? The fact that Homeboy just slid in and got 2 kills over onto a tree room is just insane, to say the very least. The Neon Slide got nerfed a very long time ago, but some players like this, some players like Homeboy, can still utilize it so well. Even when the spray is completely out of control, when that slide ends, you do have 100% accuracy. It's, of course, Homeboy was able to find it. Dieversity now staring down the barrels of a possible loss. If they're not careful, this defensive side has borne no fruit for them. It's RAD Syndicate, with the high speed and high octane gameplay that they've generally gone in for, but just holding the members of Dieversity hostage at a knife's edge pretty much. Any false step or any bad move that they make immediately gets punished. And in this round, it's a full change of their overall setup. They're not going in for the things that they have done in the past. FNoob position now revealed, knows the spot here, but Sinks' timing is not really there. They're still going to be going in for the kill. FNoob does find the trade over onto one. Homeboy does fall, but UV immediately comes in for the backup. That's completely fine, because look at the overall positioning, because Sinks was so close on the angle, and with UV holding the long range with the Guardian in hand, there's absolutely nothing that the members of Dieversity can do to try and fight against them, because overall the positioning from RAD Syndicate, the basics of the game, is just being played out far superior than what Dieversity have been pulling off.
Yeah, but it was not the area where they want. Oh, what? Paradox! He didn't even let Psalm settle down. He didn't even know that that was coming in for him. But yeah, that was a fake, obviously. They went in fast towards A. But yeah, UV with onto one tap bot with a one tap. At this point of time, it will be the 9th round being converted in favor of RAD Syndicate. Before we move on towards the sub, this is the last round, obviously. Will we see a 9-3 or a 10-2? Looks like RAD Syndicate has the better advantage. Vexy, finally, Dieversity eSports thinks and takes a good decision of taking a timeout. They just need to slow things down at least. I still feel if Dieversity converts the 3rd round, they have a chance on their attackers half with the things we are seeing though. But RAD Syndicate, they have been so good. Not only the way the team has been executing, but the individual players as well. Their aim game has been good. They are taking those trades. Everybody is taking responsibility of their own agents, and they're doing things and have that freedom. Whenever I saw Sings over there, right, who was trying to commit a 1v1 with I think that was Vexy, who was trying to push in from C long, and he was holding the A control area, I guess, and he took that fight, but then he obviously lost that. But then the freedom is given to that player where he can do things. He can go and lurk, because on that Vice, on that Sentinel, you would want to create some spaces and create kind of a question on their opponent's mind that there is some player who can come in, and Sings has been doing that really well. Even though he has missed out on some opportunities, he couldn't convert that clutch also against Som. But yeah, the scoreline says 9-2, and this is the most important round for Dieversity right now.
Well, here it seems as though they're going to be shooting it out. Poor old Som. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is not toxicity whatsoever. They're still all friends on the server. Som used to be pretty close buddies with all of them, so it's completely fine and dandy. At the end of the day, they're still going to be going in for these shots. Homeboy now, Palpatine style, just immediately goes in for the kill. Panda also getting a little bit of VM from his buddies here from the sidelines. This one tap god, last player remaining. Absolutely nothing that you can do to try and survive this, as they're closing things out. UV on the angle, one tap god's position now reveals the stun. Not really fully charged up. They do get caught by it, and Tricky's gonna be the one to bring him back down to earth. 2-10 on the scorecards here, ladies and gentlemen, as RAD Syndicate. They are on double digits here on that first initial round. The curse has also been dodged, so it's a 10-2 scoreline, which, oh boy, not gonna end well for the opposition.
Yeah, looks like a very, very, one-sided on Lotus, right from the word go. The scoreline says it all. Obviously, 10-2. There has been no fight back whatsoever from Dieversity. So they have shown some individual brilliance, obviously, from Som's side. But then, other than him, I think there's no other good pointers which Dieversity eSports can take back from Lotus at this point of time. There was once I saw that pick on Lotus, I already understood that obviously RAD Syndicate has a plan, but Paradox, his position is revealed. But homeboy, wait, what? He converted 2 over there, wasn't allowed. One tap god, he tries, he converts 2. Okay, the trade is now there. But Paradox, he gets the 3rd one. But Noob, again, just makes life much more difficult. RAD Syndicate, the guy who you can trust, is coming in, and that is Som for Dieversity eSports. He's still alive. Sings. He has already lost a 1v1 against Som. He'll be able to convert it, but this time he has Noob to also take down. It's a 1v2 for him. It's not going to be so easy. Haunt will obviously... Oh, he's running in. Oh, wait, no. Som lost it this time. Sings, he converted both of them. Oh my god, Sings, what confidence was that? He ran in once he spotted Noob. Obviously, the call was there that Noob was low. But Som, that wasn't expected. Yeah, that's what happens when your team is not winning those rounds. The momentum is not in your favor. Your star player sometimes misses the shot. And that is what happened over there.
Yikes, that's a rough spot for you to be in, especially when your team is now down this far into the ditch here. Ladies and gentlemen, the members of Dieversity are going to be kicking themselves for this one, that is for certain. Bowing out of a tournament like this on a 2-11 scoreline, possibly a 2-13, and they do not win this one out. it's gonna be an issue. Vexy, though, regardless, comes in for the big fight and the big ploy for his own team. Homeboy in towards the back line, really bold utilized to cause some problems. The door closes on him. The door is stuck, son, and he could not move. Here comes the last couple of players. The cavalry is here, but never mind. The cavalry went into the grinder instead. Shishibi, anyone, because the members of RAD Syndicate, they got a little bit too overconfident trying to take this duel.
Yeah. Oh my god. No, he was very smart over there. Just waited, but Vexy, that was kind of a ballsy move coming in with the Prowler. Correct, and the ideal thing to do. But Homeboy over there, obviously Storm, poor Storm, he got stuck over there. But once you came in from that revolving door, it was all noob. Some kind of, momentum coming in for Dieversity, so but it's still early to say. They have a mountain to climb. It's not going to be so easy. Sinks, he places the snare over there. Let's see how things pan out for him in this situation. Okay, Prowler comes in. He couldn't destroy the Prowler. Somebody has already prepared Vexy, but Vexy this time couldn't find a value. You guys have to remember that this is, oh wait, he was coming in with a run and gun movement, but he just slapped. One tap god and waited, told him, oh no, Paradox! He just walked in and nobody was watching. See, man? Oh my god. Dieversity eSports, what have you done? They have messed up the good work, and it's match point and game point aggressive.
Well then. Dieversity has now dropped the ball once again after getting a saving grace. The almighty god gave them something, but I don't think they're going to be able to convert on that one. 3-12. As no matter what happens in this game, no hard feelings, right? That's what the members of Dieversity eSports are saying. Because to take goddamn 9 rounds consecutively will not be easy if they want to mount a comeback here. And mind you, even if they get 9 rounds consecutively, they need to go into map number 3, which is going to be even more difficult. Ultimate's now being utilized. One of the players already spotted. They're going to be able to spot out the second as well. Horn timing was absolutely crucial for that play to happen for their team. Vexy's in the perfect angle, and Homeboy just slides in with his buddy to go in for the last and final kills. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the set play that we wanted. This is the set play that we get. It's, oh my god, Dieversity. This map was just not comfortable for them whatsoever.
Yep. Oh, we thought that we'll see some surprises coming in from Dieversity because we haven't, really seen them on a map like Lotus. Thought that they have some kind of a plan coming in, but it was there on the cards, right? Aggressive, because they lost their map pick, which was Bind, which was supposed to be their strongest pick, and where they started well also. But once they lost the momentum, they lost it overall. RAD Syndicate, just went in and they were very fast. They couldn't pick things up, and Bind was done and dusted over there. There was still some kind of a fight back going on Bind, but once we stepped onto Lotus, right from the word go, it was all RAD Syndicate. Some bits and pieces, some individual plays coming in from Storm, but it wasn't going to be enough. Vexy trying to do some individual flashy plays, but never the way a competitive situation, in a competitive scenario where Neon is just running in solo, that to solo, with no support at all. You cannot win rounds or win matches or win maps with a situation like this.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there. It just didn't really feel right. I thought they were going in for something a little bit more comfortable, but one tap god on the breach is not really something that we have seen in the past work out. And you could tell that he wasn't really that comfortable in the way that he was utilizing the breach as well. He didn't really know the perfect front line angles. He was making mistakes when he was trying to utilize flash. The timing between him and Vexy just wasn't there in a lot of these rounds. So the fact that they did lose out on this match was just purely on the basis of that. You need to have proper coordination with your duelist to really work the map of Lotus well in your favor, especially when you think about the way that the Neon goes in. You need to understand the Neon speed, you need to understand the body language of your duelist player as he's trying to take an entry, when he's trying to slow down, so that you can go and set up those perfect flashes. Not everything really comes down to communication. Some of it just comes down to you understanding the agent well enough and understanding your own teammate, so that they can go in for the much more optimum plays. And this is something that I've learned personally playing multiple different FPS games at a very high level, that if you are not well adapted to a certain game or a certain character, you're not going to be able to adapt to the things that are happening around you. And Hepgod just fell into that role where Breach is not an easy character. You will like bottom frag quite often. You will be the ones who probably are like 5 and 20 on the scorecards, but at the same time you have 30 assists to your name. I have seen this. One of the best players that I do know of, he's actually a Breach player. I still remember he played in a tournament game once. He had 5 kills, 25 deaths, but the guy had 45 assists.
Yeah.
Arguably, they gave him the name being the professional bottom fragger, but everyone in the server will agree that his Breach was easily the reason why that game lasted for so long, and he was the main reason why they got so many clutches. That's why the Breach player is probably the most underrated and underutilized, and probably one of the most difficult agents to pick up for any player if you're playing at such a high professional level.
Yeah, I think it has always been like that, right? Aggressive, because I think that if you're a initiator, specifically kind of an agent where you have a Breach or a Sky in play, you are always the support player. You need someone to go ahead and get those conversions. It has to be a Neon, it has to be a Jet, or it has to be a Raze. These are the 3 main agent picks, or the combinations which usually we have seen in Valorant, where the combination and the combo plays comes in, just like how on Lotus I was expecting a Fade and a Raze gameplay. But I was very surprised on both the sides that no team had an agent which was a damage dealing duelist, right? It was Neon. Obviously both the teams went in with a Neon. Homeboy did a real good job, obviously on his part. He was super confident on Bind also. He just carried that on Lotus, and he just decimated the opponent. Vexy on the other end, he couldn't find his place, and obviously Paradox, as you said, was looking very clueless. He didn't know what to do. The kind of experience he has, I was pretty surprised that Paradox is looking such clueless, and he isn't able. Yeah, actually one tap, but he was not able to help his team. So yeah, this is something which these guys need to talk, obviously, and we'll see some better performances coming in from them in future.
Yeah, it's just that uncomfortable nature, because I know for a fact that OneTapGod, he's an incredible solo player. You saw that in the last game as well, that when he was playing Fate, he was insane to watch. He had good Haunt utility usage, he had good Prowler usage as well, but as soon as the Breach rolled around, that's when he started to struggle a lot. He wasn't really able to coordinate whatsoever with his team. Psalm, on the other hand, has to be that hero that we have to talk about for the side of Dieversity. He was consistent when it came down to his performance. He was consistent when his team needed him to clutch, and every single round that the members of Dieversity won was purely because of Psalm. We've seen it as well, that Psalm, as soon as he turned up the heat, as soon as he started to hit a lot of his shots, that is when his team was able to rally behind him and really push their lead forward. And it's kind of sad to see a team like this bow out of the tournament, but not actually bow out, because don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, we still do have those lower bracket runs, so they still have a second chance to make their way back over towards that grand finals. I completely forgot about that for a second, because I'm still thinking that it was those BO1 series that we had previously for the last couple of days, because that didn't have any lower bracket, but now we do. So teams still have ample chances to really work their way forward even more. They can come back, they can go back to the drawing board, come back even stronger, because RAD Syndicate, we've already talked about this with Salty, that there's a pretty good chance that this is the team that will get to that grand final stage. Now, will it be the team that wins? I don't think so, because you still have a team such as because you still have a team such as Asterisk who's waiting for them in the background, because that team has been sticking there for a very long time. They do have a professional coach as well, and they have a lot of very nifty setups for each and every map. Mind you, this is the team that runs a Viper on Haven, so you know for a fact that they have a lot of nifty setups.
Yeah, exactly, and I think they are the favorites as well on winning this Intel Gamer Days Valorant Community Cup, and we will see that. Obviously, there are a lot of matches before that we will witness, and as you said, there are lower brackets. But at this point of time, it's a scorecard which is in front of our screen, and I mean, there's nothing to discuss on this scorecard other than Homeboy's brilliance. He was really, really good on that neon with the kind of movements he was showing around, with the kind of picks he was able to get. So yeah, it was so good on his side, right? Aggressive.
Absolutely. You can crown the MVP to Homeboy for this one because the
Yeah.
guy was absolutely incredible. But as we are going to be waiting out on the end here, ladies and gentlemen, sadly, we are not going to be having a second BO3 here today. Tomorrow, it's going to be a lot more Valorant extravaganza, that is for certain, with 2 games back to back to back. We as the casters, we're going to die, but we are here to bring you all of the action. That is for certain at the end of the day. And hey, as we're bringing in the action, you need to give a big thanks to our sponsors as well, and make sure to check out the links down below in the description, because in the celebration of the Intel Gamer Days, you can grab yourself an Intel Core powered gaming laptop down below, starting at just 50,999 on Flipkart till September 7th. And you can also get no cost EMIs on select models with select bank cards as well. One of those models could be the Asus ROG G16, available at a discounted price on Flipkart. Of course, it has an Intel Core i7 14th gen processor with a 5050 RTX 5050 GPU installed onto it. Plus, if you're worried about the refresh rate of the monitor, if the display is bad, don't worry, we got you covered as well. It has a 240 Hz display. Could you ask for more to play Valorant? No. And if you want to play like the professionals, make sure to grab this one and get grinding, because there's a lot more tournaments to be had in here for the esports club. So make sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe, and also hit that notification bell down below, because tomorrow we're going to be back with you with a lot more Valorant action from the Intel Gamer Days Community Cup. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen, because tomorrow we're going to be back with a lot more action. Good night and happy gaming, everyone. Sorry, good evening, but you know what I mean.